drinks coming.
Hello guys, welcome back. Welcome to today's video. I'm so excited to be filming today's video. So I thought we would do a little fridge tour, like a mini fridge tour, and I would talk you through the 10 items that are always in my fridge. Now, my disclaimer is always with this is that I share a house with quite a few other people. Everybody has different tastes, so if you see anything in the fridge that you have issue with, well, I don't know what to tell you. It might not be something that I eat, but it might be something that we keep in the fridge. So I'm going to go through kind of what we have on hand at any given time, along with the 10 foods that are always in the fridge and that are really staples in my healthy diet and helping me get the best skin possible. So yeah, let's get into it. So let's take you from here to the fridge. We're gonna do a proper vlogging tour. So we got a new fridge post-hurricane, and I feel like I did a mini fridge version of this around Christmas. But we're gonna do it again because I think that things have kind of changed a little bit. So we have this 2-door fridge that opens up at the top. We also have another freezer in the back. On top of the fridge, I keep all kinds of things because our house is in desperate need of a remodel. So let's just not mind that. On the right is everything smoothie related, any Tropika products, anything like MCT oil, my BCAAs, workout stuff. And on the left is like teas and coffee. A lot of times if I'm product testing, it'll end up there, so I remember to grab it. General fridge tour. Left side, I have some of these Alani Nu drinks. I tested those when we did our no caffeine month, and to be quite honest, they have sucralose in them and they break me out, so I don't drink them anymore. But they're still there. Mom will occasionally drink them as her energy drink. I have one thing of shortening that I keep in the fridge, one thing that I keep in the pantry, and that's the palm shortening. I use that for baking. Against All Grain uses that a lot, and so I have that on hand. And then nut pods are always kind of floating around. There's always a selection of non-dairy milk in the fridge, and this is one of the first items in the 10 items that are always in the fridge, is at least 2 forms of almond milk. So I drink either almond milk or coconut milk in my smoothies. I tend to have a breakfast smoothie every day that I'm working out during the week, and I like, if I had the budget for it, I would buy more of the New Barn Organics, but this almond milk is very limited on ingredients. There's no gargums, no issues there, and it froths up really, really, really well in the frother. So I always have that, and because I go through it a lot quicker, there's typically one of these big ones floating around. And then So Delicious makes my favorite coconut milk, the unsweetened vanilla. This shelf has some homemade cashew milk that's floating around in here as well. I'm almost out of this, guys, so this will be what goes in my coffee for the next couple of days. And then on the left side of the fridge, we have Mom's Probiotics maple syrup, which is our second item on the list of items that are always in the refrigerator. We always have maple syrup on hand. I use it for baking. I use it to sweeten lots of stuff. Sometimes I'll use it as my sweetener in my nut milk when I make that. There's always maple syrup in the fridge, along with vegan butter. We don't actually buy Earth Balance anymore. We buy the Mykonos one, but the Earth Balance one is just easier for my stepdad to deal with, so Mom has just been refilling that container because it fits right there. This shelf has a cold brew coffee concentrate. I haven't been drinking this as much. I'm actually getting ready to make a decaf version of that, but sauces, anything of that kind of nature, mustard, mayonnaise, whatever, Primal Kitchen mayo hangs out on this shelf, along with the third item that is always in the fridge, which is the Coconut Aminos Teriyaki sauce. I am doing a Vitacost haul, and you will see this more than once in the next couple of videos, but I use this a lot to put on like veggies, or I'll toss it on meats. I'll saute things in it. It's just a nice alternative. So bottom shelf is mostly stepdad stuff, but the fourth on the list is the Primal Kitchen dressing. I always have this dressing kind of floating around. These are my favorite salad dressings. I will make some, and you'll see one of those in the back of the fridge. Occasionally I do make salad dressing, but for the most part I always keep these on hand just because they're a nice go-to. All right, bottom drawer and working up. So number 5 is chocolate. There's always some kind of chocolate in the fridge. I've really kind of narrowed down what I do and don't like. Some of these that are floating around down here are ones that like I've gotten and I don't super love, but I try to use those as the chocolate that I shave on my popcorn when I crave that once a month during my period. But here you go. But these are all of my favorites. So the Living Raw Darkest Cacao Truffles, I only have one left. Hazelnut butter from dark chocolate, the Hue one, and then there's a cashew butter. And then I have a couple of Loving Earths. I really like the caramel and the coconut milk chocolate. I'm not so much a fan of the dark chocolate, but it's there. Once Upon a Farm, these are good for on the go or last minute bits. I need to be more mindful about eating those. And then everything that is meat or cheese or even non-fake dairy related lives in here. So like miso is always there. I have some turkey bacon, mama, some regular bacon. I didn't put it on the list of things that are always in the fridge, but there's always at least a form of tempeh or tofu in here. So there's a couple of tempehs back there and a tofu, just so that I do have an option, especially because like tonight I haven't laid out any meat for dinner. So that means I'll grab for one of my plant-based sources. We keep quite a bit. Mom has been on a serious fruitcake lately, so that's happening. But the next on the list of things, I've lost count of the things that are always in the fridge, are apples. I'm on an apple kick. That's kind of been one of my go-to fruits lately. I feel like berries would be great, but I'm just not as mindful about consuming them quickly. I need to do that, but I tend to eat an apple and peanut butter at least every day. And then always in the veggies, actually one of the things that normally lives in here that's up there because we bought the large bag and is always in the fridge is carrots. We always have carrots, mostly because it's a lot cheaper to buy carrots in the big bulk bags organic. So Mom bought one of the 5-pound bags from Sam's and it's just staying up there. The next thing on the list that's always in the fridge is eggs. We always have eggs in the fridge. They're a go-to quick meal. They just are something that we tend to go through fairly quickly. So we always have them here. And I try to buy them when they're on sale. I try to buy a couple of them. So I had fried eggs this morning and I tend to stick with eggs on the weekends. That just because I normally have my smoothie during the week, but eggs, pasture-raised eggs specifically, are typically always in our fridge, along with leftovers. So these are the current leftovers that we're working through, and a homemade salad dressing back there. Some cauliflower rice as well. This is telling me exactly what I need to make for dinner. Back here we have bits and bobs. There's this chia pod that has been in here for a while. I need to check the date on because, to be quite frank, oh, I need to eat that. So I'm gonna set that up here. I'm a very visual person when it comes to food. If you guys have seen, I wrote a blog post about like building healthy habits or something to do with this, but for me, if I see it, I'm a lot more likely to eat it. So if I'm trying to make sure that I'm reaching for the healthiest stuff, I have to be mindful about what's in my visual frame. It's just something I've learned for myself. So if I'm thinking I really need to consume that, I try to make it a forefront picture for me. And then I have a couple of different versions of my energy balls. I actually need to eat more of these. This recipe is on the blog. It has the salted caramel topeka powder in it. And then these, I don't remember exactly the recipe for this. I think they're Gwyneth Paltrow one. Coconut Culk yogurt, that's in there right now. That's not always in there, but that one happened to be on sale. And I do have a lemon and lime juice. Lemons are actually another thing on the list. And then lemon and lime juice kind of in these jar forms normally hang out on the list just as a backup. Paleo bread is another item. The items that are always in the refrigerator. The base culture is my favorite paleo bread. I've tried quite a few. This one just seems to be the best consistency for what I like. It crumbles a lot more, so I don't want to eat it as like, I don't typically eat it in the sandwich form, but if I just want like toast with breakfast and I want some just vegan butter, this is the paleo bread that I use the most frequently, but it is very dense. Like, it's very filling because it's pretty much all, yeah, eggs, almond butter, cashew butter. It's a very, very thick, dense bread. And then the top shelf, there's always herbs in here, but that's not what I was going to count on the list. We always have spinach. So there's always a large tub of spinach in the fridge. I tend to go through at least one of these a week, if not every week and a half, because I'm either making salads or I'm throwing it in smoothies. But spinach and then greens in general are items that are always in the refrigerator. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything that's in our fridge. So let me double check the list here. Yeah, I got it all. So those are the things that always live in our fridge. It's a very quick fridge tour. I didn't want to take you item by item. We do buy a lot of things. There's quite a bit in our freezer. We do have an extra freezer because we buy a lot of my stepdad's breakfast stuff in bulk, but I keep things like bulk versions of veggies in the freezer, some cauliflower pizza crust, things like that. So if you guys want to see a 10 things that are always in my freezer video, let me know. I'll do that as well. But yeah, I thought I'd talk you through just the 10 things that even, they might seem a little crazy, but these are always in our fridge, especially the chocolate. There's always chocolate in our refrigerator. So yeah, I love you guys. You matter to me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, give it a like, because it really supports my channel. And yeah, I'll be back with another video either on Tuesday or Thursday. I don't remember when this is going up, but I upload new videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 AM Central Time. So I love you, and I will see you all soon. Bye guys.